Hello everyone, I have a new game here I've just made. This one is called Replay. Now what happens is that you see these characters here in a it's a string of characters, and the program is gonna pick any random characters and then add them to a pile until that pile contains 5 random digits or characters. For example, it could pick a 2 there, then it could pick a pound sign, and then later, let's say P number 1, until it reaches 5, and then it's gonna display them, and after a minute it's gonna clear the screen and ask you to retype it. Now let me play this for you so you can see this. Okay, I click on play. It says the code is G hashtag T something something. Okay, G, oh, I've forgotten it now, T something, yeah, whatever it was, but I got that wrong anyway. Okay, now I forgot the one it just displayed. Okay, pound pound E at 7K, I think, yeah, 7K. Yes, 93G22, 93G22, and then T73G percent, T73G percent. Yes, 3% XFG, 3% XFG, pound F31, 1 pound F31. Is it? Or something missing there? I'm gonna, okay, KP1T3, KP1T3. Yes, P9033, P9033, like that. So that's how the game goes, okay? So you need to memorize those characters. Now I could have made it even harder by putting some labels in it, or making the time go fast and so forth. But I'm just gonna make it simple for now, and then maybe, just maybe, I might think about increasing the levels and making it go from level 1 to 2 and then 3. There's another game I've made just like that, but this is different, okay? But anyway, I'm gonna put the comments in the code and explain from the start all the way to the end here, okay? And how I've made it. Alright, so let me stop that and let's get cracking. Okay, now let me tell you what happens, okay? Okay, I will say this is code for my new game named Replay. Players will be shown 5 random characters chosen from a list. They only have 1 minute to memorize them before they disappear, after which they will have to type the previously displayed characters, okay? So that's what happens. All right, okay, let's start. Import operating system is going to help us clear the screen and terminate the game or whatever. Import time is going to help us set the timer, so you only have 1 minute. And then import random Random is gonna help us pick from this string of characters, pick at random. Okay, so import time. So this will allow us to clear the screen, comma, set the timer, and select random values, okay, from a string. All right, so that's what that part does. Going on to global, this sets the variables chars, which is a string of the characters, and score to be reusable anywhere, including functions, inside of functions. Okay, inside of functions. Okay, that's what this code at number 6 implies. Okay, now after setting those two, now the score will be the initial score. We start at 0. So every time you get it right, you get additional points. But if you get it wrong, they take away some points. So you could end up with a minus all the time. All right. Now I'm gonna set some variables here. Okay. So this code sets these variables. Okay. This code sets these variables to store the formed code. Okay. The actually we don't really need previous, but previously displayed code and the current score. Okay, so it initiates them. Let's just say it's gonna set values. That's for variable myword, and then the previously displayed code is for prev, and score is for your current score. Okay, that's the other part. Now this code assigns the let's say the string of characters named chars. Okay, that's what that variable is. So chars is a string of characters. Okay, it can be anything. You can add whatever you want. Yeah, it can be as many as you want. No commas, no spaces. It's a string of characters, just like one large password. Okay, something like that. Okay, now after doing that, we're going to then set a new function, and its job is to generate any 5 random digits from this string at line 10. Okay, so that's what it does, this function here. So I'm gonna say this function generates random strings of 5 characters from the string. Okay, let me put brackets here, and I say that is chars. Okay, generates random strings, and I will call these, okay, they are called chosen. Okay, but really it's called word, because chosen is the character you choose. Okay, and word is the word you form after adding another 4 characters to it. Okay, that's that part. Okay, prev and word are used everywhere, which is why they are global. Okay, which is why they are global. Ignore this part that says failed to connect. It's just, repo trying to do what repo does. Okay, And now set. We had hard time resolving differences between your content and server content while you are disconnected. What would you like to do? Choose server changes. Choose my changes. This is annoying me now. Set count and word to initial values of 0 and empty. Okay, you know, every time a character is picked, okay, you're gonna count 1, 2, 3, 4, because count starts at 0. So the moment you reach 5, that means your string, which is word, now contains 5 characters. Okay, and afterwards we are going to assign those characters to the word previous prev. As long as count is less than 5, what are we going to do? As long as count is less than 5, now remember count is 0. Okay, that's the value for count, is 0. But now we're saying as long as it's less than 5, which is the case, what's going to happen? Okay, choose one. I can't say later because it could be any other character like a pound sign or whatever. One character, okay, from the string named chars. How does that work? Now I'll show you an example. You can say chars, okay, and I would put something like that. Yeah, and I say okay, choose 4. So that means you're gonna go from the 4th position. Okay, that's position 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So when you say choose 4, it means you're choosing this part here, that bit, the percentage sign. Okay, because when you're counting from the strings, you count from 0, then the next character is 1, then 2 and 3 and so forth. Yeah, don't worry, I know I swapped these two, but it doesn't matter anyway. So you've chosen character 4. But what if, how do you then make it randomly choose characters? How do you do that? Choose from the characters random.randint, okay, from 0, from this position, okay, up to the length of the string. Now remember, the length of the string is counted by counting these characters. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. Now they're 28, okay? But remember, if you type 28 here rather than length of characters minus 1, it means you're counting 28 values. That's essentially it's 29. Okay, so it will reach the end here and still count. Let's say it goes to 28. You end up getting an error message. Okay, because the string is not counted from 1 to 28. It's counted from 0 to the last digit. Okay, so that's why I say the length of character minus 1. Okay, so if I'm setting as 0, which is there, and I say let me count 28 from here, I'll end up with this here. Then I will add this this randomly chosen character to the pile of other characters in a variable named word. Okay, now this variable is named word. Okay, now remember word was declared up here as empty. Okay, now since it's empty, every time I choose a character here, I'm gonna add to it. Now it says from being empty, let's say I chose the percentage sign. Now it's gonna have the percentage inside it. Okay, then I randomly choose maybe a G, then it's gonna have plus G. Then say I choose this @ sign. Okay, then I choose number 3 and then the pound sign and then X, like that. So it's gonna keep adding one by one until you've counted up to number 5. Now remember, counting starts at 0 up here. Counting starts at 0, which means every time it's less than 5, we're gonna generate a random character from the string here and we're gonna add it to the pile of words. to word. Okay, which word is, remember, a variable. A variable is a memory space that holds information. It holds data, and this data can be any type. It can be a string, a number, anything. Okay, so it's gonna keep adding one more character, one more character, one more character. Is it less than 5? No, one more character. And what happens when it adds a character? Here's what's gonna happen. Okay, so now the reason why I say previous equals word, you will know that later on, because when I'm comparing, because remember, it's gonna display a character, okay, but then it has to, when it empties word, it's gonna populate word with new characters. But then the ones you chose previously, where are they going to be stored? That's why we need an extra memory space. This one is going to store the current set of characters, and this one is going to store the previous set of characters. So every time this is empty, you get what's in here, you put it in there, and then you empty that, you put new characters. It keeps swapping like that. Okay, so this variable will hold the set of characters from word. Okay, now word is not just word, it's the variable. Okay, it's this here. If you don't know about variables, it's really important that you learn about them and you understand them. Okay, after choosing the character, if you don't know what character means, it means any value over here. Okay, it could be anything. It could be a minus sign, it could be a number 9. A character is, you know, any value basically. Yeah, even a space, even space is a character. Yes, I know some people argue that no, it's not, but I don't care. Anyway, after choosing the character, okay, we shall increment count and then check the loop condition again. Okay, remember this loop, a loop is something that keeps repeating. Okay, a loop is a function, a set of code that is gonna keep repeating until its condition is met. Now here's what's happening. Okay, count less than 5? No, because count started at 0. So choose a random character, form a, add it to the word, what's current in word. Okay, because remember word is now empty. We choose a character, put it in there, then we're gonna say previous equals word. Now if word is x, previous is equal to x. Okay, then we're gonna count plus 1. Now count is 1. Okay, it was 0 but now it's 1, but it's still less than 5. We're gonna repeat the same things, but now word had x, we're gonna add another character to it which was randomly chosen from this string, and let's say it's a 3. So now word is x3. Okay, word is x3, but count is 1, still 1. Now because word is x3, we're gonna say previous equals word, which means previous, which was x before, is now x3. We just swapped. Okay, so when we swap that, we're now gonna add 1 to count. Now count was 1, it's now 2. 2 is less than 5. We repeat the same process. Count becomes 3, it's less than 5, we repeat the same process. Now as it goes on, a word, or I shouldn't have called this word, I should have called it probably code, the code or password. Okay, it keeps increasing until count reaches 5. Okay, by the time count is 5, we will have 5 characters in here. Okay, 5 characters, and when count is 5, that means it's no longer less than 5, it's equal to 5. Then the loop is gonna stop. But by the time the loop stops, we've already formed a new code that we are ready to ask the player. We're gonna display it to the player and then ask them to retype it after hiding it. Now what does this variable, this function do? Now we've done that. This function, new word. Now I should explain what play my word really is before explaining what new word is. Okay, now let me see what I need to do. I need to get this function. Okay, take it out, bring play my word, because new word uses it, and then check my password, check pass. Okay, but that one goes right there, and then check pass and play. So going back to new word, it's gonna randomly let me explain that. This function will, or code, okay, and then calls the function, or let's say activates, okay, then activates, okay, activates the play function. Okay, now let's be more specific and put the parameters in. It activates the play function. Okay, and now we know what new word does. Okay, randomize the value, get the random characters, and then play the game. This function will play the game after receiving. That's what it does. Okay, a newly formed code. Now we need to find what my word is. Okay, but for us to know what my word is, we need to find it from inside here. Okay, my word is what the user typed. What did they type? So here is what we call a recursion. We're gonna have this function call itself. Okay. So you see here, this function is gonna activate itself. Okay, it's gonna play as if the game has just started, but if the game is in play, the function will call itself. Okay, and we'll know how that works in a minute. And it needs to know what my word is. At the start, my word will be empty. Okay, there'll be nothing in it. Okay, now here's what happens. It says if my word is empty, okay, there's nothing in there, okay, what's going to happen? It's gonna call new word. Okay, but what does new word do? New word, remember, it sets a new word. It's gonna set a new random word. That's what new word does. It randomly sets a new random word. If my word is empty, set a new word. Okay, and yeah, now going back to randomize, how we have their previous word and so forth and so forth. It then generates a word, what previous is, okay, and then play my word. Hang on. If my word is empty, if my word is not empty. Okay, sorry, I made a mistake. If my word is not empty. If it's not empty, if my word is not equal to empty, play new word. A new word only randomizes and then it plays my word. Then my word, okay? So there is a part in the program where my word will be empty, like as they start here. Now, my word will start by being empty. So, because it's empty, okay? What's gonna happen? This happens if there is no user entry. Okay, the user hasn't typed anything. If the user types something, we activate new word. Okay, so randomly generate a new code or word. Okay, I understand this can be a little bit confusing, but if you replay it and follow it, pause, read the code, you'll understand it. Okay, now display in format of all string. Okay, now remember, it could be a number, so we want to make sure that the word that was generated up here, they're all strings. Okay, now we're going to say display in format of all string. Okay, the new word. Okay, now you could be here asking, how about previous? What's the job of previous? But remember, we need previous to hold this word, okay, and then generate another one. So this is what we do. Okay, so we've told them what the code is. Okay, now they know what the code is, but in the meantime, we need to generate a new code before they type. After they've typed this code, another code is ready for them. Which is why we use prev to hold the displayed. Okay, that's what we do. Then this code will set a timer for 2 seconds. This code will set a timer for 2 seconds. Okay, you have 2 seconds to see what they've displayed, to see this code. Okay, the word. Then this will clear the screen. This code asks the player to type the previously displayed code. Okay, this code asks the player to type the previously displayed word or code or set of character or set, yeah, or set or code. Okay, I don't know if that makes sense to you, but if you've been following, you should know what this means by now. So that's what my word is. So now the user types it in, and now my word is not empty because the user has typed the code what they think is what they saw previously, and now it's gonna get stored in here. It's gonna get stored in here. Then what happens? What happens is that we are now going to check, does the previous word, which is this, we assigned it to the word, and their own word, what they've just typed, are they matching? Do they match? So I'm gonna say activate check pass. Okay, more like check password. Okay, activate check pass. Okay, let me make it even more precise. Okay, activate check pass. Okay, to see if both users bracket my word, okay, and prev, do they match? That's what this function does. Okay, and I'll get to that function later. But before we do that, we're gonna say continue playing the same function named okay, named this, okay, named play my word. All right, play my word. You type in your word, and then it's gonna go here and say, is my word empty? If it's not equals empty, or there's something in it, then you're gonna call new word, okay, to randomize and form a new word. If that's gonna make sense, I don't know. Anyway, now check pass. Okay, so I've already explained what these two do. Okay, check pass. Check if the user's code matches the previous one. Okay, I've already typed that. Okay, now how is it gonna do that? It's gonna say, now remember, score and word are global variables because they are used outside of this function. Okay, and we want to use them again in this function, so that they're usable in this function. And remember, they were initially used outside. You could remember what word was. It was outside of this function, and score was here. It's the one we set at the start. Okay, it's a 0. And for us to use these ones, which are not in that function, we need to call them global. Yeah, so we globalize these two variables, not functions, variables, so that we can use them anywhere. Okay, now if the player's entry, whatever they entered, matches or matched prev. Now if you don't know what prev is, please again go back a few minutes and see what I meant by prev. Okay, then increment the score. Okay, score is gonna get added. You're gonna add 5 points to the current value of score. You can say score equals score plus 5, but make it easy, make it score plus equals 5. It's the same thing. Okay, now that's not a swear word. Okay, it means that you are gonna format all of this to be uniform. Okay, so score is, remember, is a number, but then you're combining it with this string. Okay, this string here. Okay, so if you're gonna combine a number which is of data type integer into a string, you've got to format them so that this number appears like a string. That way there will be no errors. Okay, and this will be displayed. All right, so display suitable message, I would abbreviate that, with their new score. If there's a match, add 5 points and then display, oh, well done, correct, your new score is now score, because remember, the current value of score plus 5, that means it's increased by 5. Okay, but what if there was no match? There's my clock ringing again, annoying clock. What if there's no match? What happens? Okay, well, I'll tell you. decrease the value of score by 2. Okay, decrease it by 2. Okay, which means they lose 2 points from their current value. Okay, and then what happens next? And then they inform the player that they got it wrong and show their new score. Okay, tell them they got it wrong, you know, you should have done better than that, and here's your new score. Okay, all right, now remember what I said about formatting. Okay, you're gonna format this score. We use these curly braces. Okay, everything has to be in quotations besides the F that starts here. All right, what you see here, \n, indicates a new line. It's a new line. In fact, I'll put one there as well. New line. Okay, correct new line. Your new score is then the score, and then that's what happens. Okay, then we're gonna say word equals previous. We're gonna transfer the content of word to previous once again. Now I probably shouldn't have put that there because we've already done it up here. Transfer the contents. Now those who are really good at Python, please, if you see any faults I've made, let me know in the comments below, or you know, just tell me what I could have done better. Give me some constructive feedback. If you just want to criticize this, I hope you can do better. Anyway, transfer the contents of word into prev. That previous is going to store the previous value. Okay, and then now we are ready to choose a new word. Okay, a new word. Okay, this will activate the play my word. Oops, what have I done? The activate the play my word function. Now remember, a function doesn't just play itself. You have to activate it. Okay, yes, it can call itself whilst it's playing, but you've got to activate it so that it works, you know. That's why we say play then my word. Okay, it's you know, you call it here at number 75, line 75, so that the game starts playing. Now something I wanted to explain. Hang on, what is it? I think that's pretty much it, really. I think I've explained everything. Check password, I've explained that and what it does. New word, my word. Yeah, I think that's everything. If I left something there out, please let me know. Okay, I'm more than happy to correct that, but as far as I know, that's the code. That is the code for you to make a game that will choose any 5 random characters from this string, then it's gonna display them, and then after a minute or two it's gonna hide them and then ask you to retype them. So I hope you enjoy that. Please feel free to add more to this or make it even better, but that's how you make this little game. It's fun to play. Thank you very much. Q pound. Oh god, that's too fast. Can't even remember it. Let me just put anything. 1A% E at 1A% E at. Yes. No, I can't play anymore. Whew. Thank you.